Good morning, everyone. So today, as in the last class, we have done all the 2D transformations, that is, all the five types of transformations individually. And in today's class, we are going to combine all these things and we are going to see how we can apply the transformations, the variety of transformation over one object. Okay. So here you can see that. I have these transformations here one object is there, okay, some point is there which I want to translate, and also I want to give the scalings, and also I want to give the rotations. So how I want to give, we have some formulas which already we have notified. So now we are going to apply those formulas over this object and we are going to do the transformations. Fine. So here you can see, suppose if I have this x coordinate and y coordinate, I have the points, okay, and also we have done like from this point rotation to this point. So here I'm applying the rotations. If I just translate the point from P to here, so this known as my translation. And if I just want to increase the scaling and also size of the object, then I can go from here to here, so that is scaling. So here I have three more points, that is T, S and R, where I have applied some of the transformations. So now here you can see over one point I'm applying all the three transformations. Okay, so if suppose I want to translate, okay, and the distance is V, then what will be my translation vector? I know I have already told you that we have to add both the things. So your T will be equals to P plus V. So which one is your V over here? You know that this distance is your V. Okay. This distance is your V. Okay. Fine. So here I'm going to add it. And suppose if I want to find out the scaling. So scaling in the sense you can have the scaling factors, that is Sx and Sy. Let's consider for both the axes as your S. Then how you're going to find out? You have to do the dot product with the point. So your new scaling vector will be equals to the distance or scaling here, whatever the small s you have taken, right? So that one, 1 minute. Okay, so that one, and then with you are going to do the dot product with your previous point. So that is P. So new point, new scaling factor will be equals to S into P. Okay, so this is your scaling. Now next is your rotations. So how you are going to rotate? If suppose I will take the angle as alpha, then I have already the formulas which already I have used. So we are going to apply that formula. So on my x-axis, what will be the formula, which is my point? My point is P. So if the point moves through your x-axis, it will call as your Px. And if it moves through your y-axis, it will be known as your Py. Then r dash x will be equals to, because this is a new point after rotation on your x-axis. And this is a new point on your y-axis. Okay, so here Rx will be equals to, this is a direct formula, cos alpha px minus sin alpha py. Okay, then here what's happening, r dash y will be equals to sin alpha px plus cos alpha py. So this is a formula which we are going to write directly. So here three things I have applied over here for one point. So now next, let's see how we can like find out all these things in easier way without disturbing any without changing any other points or anything else. So how we are going to do, because if we are doing everything at a time, it will be very messy, and with respect to the points, if you are going to find out, it will be very difficult. Then how we can combine all the transformations? We have the homogeneous coordinates, okay, where we can apply uniformly all these translation, rotation and scaling. Okay, and also this uniform representation of your points and vectors also you can check it out. So this is a compact representation of your sequence of points. So now here I just want to add some extra coordinates. So how I can add, suppose here my point is P, then it will move towards your x-axis, y-axis, and also if you want to find out any of the homogeneous coordinates, so that we are going to represent as h. So here ph I'm going to take. So now if I will consider as my coordinate points, how it will be, we are just adding one extra coordinate, that is homogeneous coordinates. So x will be equals to x comma y comma h. And if you want to find out the Cartesian coordinates, then you need to divide through every one by h. So if you divide, then h by h will be equals to 1. So we are just going to ignore that point for the time being. Okay. And our coordinate points we are going to receive as x by h comma y by h. Okay. So we'll see how this we can use. So now here you can see the translation matrix. Our translation matrix already I discussed in homogeneous coordinates how it looks. So we have to add 1 because here only you got h equals to 1. Okay. Due to this reason, here we have to add 1. So x dash y dash 1, then you are going to write this translation vector and you are going to multiply with x, y and 1. Otherwise, you can write down in another way, p dash equals to translation vector of tx comma ty into p. So these things already I have told. Similarly, for the rotation matrix, the cos theta minus sin theta 0, sin theta cos theta 0, 0, 0, 1. So this one will be your rotational angle, and for your new vector points it will be x dash y dash and 1. Then your original initial point will be x y 1. So you are going to multiply your initial point value with your rotational angle, and you are going to find out the new point value, new point vectors. Okay, so this is a formula which already we have done. Next, here you can see the scaling matrix. In the scaling matrix, similarly the homogeneous coordinate points will be equals to 1, and this one the x coordinate points will be sx 0 0, then y coordinate points will be 0 sy 0, and homogeneous coordinate values will be 0 0 1. And you are going to multiply all these scaling vectors with your initial points, that is x y 1. So if you multiply in another way, you have to write in this. Okay, remember always you have to write in the matrix form also and in the sentence form. So if you won't write in both the forms, you will lose your marks. Now let's see, one more thing is there for you. We have to find out the inverse transformations. Okay, so whenever you are going to find out your inverse transformation, you have to apply this for all the three. Generally we are applying for all these three ties because these three are very important. For reflection and shearing we are not using that much, but you can utilize inverse transformation for that also. The process is same. So if I'm applying the inverse transformation for my translation, then how to write t inverse tx comma ty. Then if I want to find out the value of this, it will be translation vector of minus tx comma minus ty. Okay, it's very easy. In the same way, in your module 3 also you have 3t, so just you have to add minus tz, only that is a difference. So if you prepare once for your 2D transformation, then it is very easy to go for the 3D transformations. It's only one time preparation. Similarly, if I want to write for the rotation and if I want to apply the inverse transformation, then I have to write r inverse of theta, any angle whatever has prescribed, then the value will be r of minus theta. Okay, for your scaling also, S inverse Sx comma Sy equal to S of 1 by Sx comma 1 by Sy. So this is the value. As I remember, I have given you some exercise where you have found that transformations, right? I have given you for the translation some two example, rotation two example, like that. So there you have applied only direct translations. Now what you have to do is the similar thing, the similar question. Now you are going to apply the inverse transformation and you are going to find out the answer for the same question. Okay, so whenever you are going to apply, that time the formula will be little change and you are going to give these formulas. Okay, so now here if I want to combine, suppose let's see the first combinations how I can combine. Okay, so in my first transformation, if I'm doing over my p, then the new point I'll get as p dash. So p dash will be equal to m1p. Suppose again if I want to do the transformations, then I'll get it as p double dash will be equals to, let's take it as m to p dash. Okay, here you can see I'm applying the translation, because by the formula you can see it's a translation. How to combine all these things. Now what's the value of your p dash? P dash equal to m1p. So just combine and put it here. So M2 will be a silent and P dash value is M1P. So you are keeping it in the bracket. Then let's remove the bracket. You will get M2, M1 and P. Everything is in the multiplication. Then let's consider M2 into M1 as M. Just represent it. So you are getting P double dash value as MP. So here this is just a combination in a equational way how you are going to find out the values. Okay, now here you can see one more combinations. If I want to apply the same thing instead of my m1 and m2, so what, instead of m1 what I can put, the translation vector of translational matrix x and y. So here I'm just going to write down t1x comma t1y. You have to carefully see this, because whenever you will write the answers, that time you should not get confused. Okay, and another thing you remember, you may get the question that combine translation and find out the values, or combine rotation and translation and find out the values. So this kind of generic questions there is a chance that you will get, but if you will understand how to find out, it's not difficult. Okay, so in the first line you can see here, in the first sentence here I have just represented as m1. Now I'm, instead of m1, I'm just replacing it with my translation vector. What is my translation vector? Translation vector of t1x comma t1y. Similarly, for my p double dash, instead of m2, I have represented translation vector of t2x comma t2y. Okay, this is my second translation I have done. This is my first translation. This is my second translation. Now I just want to combine it. So if I will combine it, I will get as p double dash. So this is a value, let it to be kept silent, don't touch this. Next, p dash value, instead of p dash I'll just put it as t of t1x comma t1y into p. So same thing I have written here. Now next thing is I have to represent in a matrix form. So I know that how to represent in translational way, right? So I'll just represent. So my diagonal will be 1, and x coordinate will be t2x, y coordinate will be t2y. The rest of the places will occupy as 0. Similarly, I have to write for this translational vector. If I write that, uh, it will look like similar way. The diagonal will be 1, here t1 1x and here t1y. Then multiply it with your p. So now I have to multiply both the things. So if I multiply both the things, my first one and second one will be same, because you can see the values are same. So just keep it as same. Next, what you are going to do? Next, you are going to add all these things. So here you can see t2x plus t1x. So I have just written over here. Next, you can see t2y plus t1y. So I have just written over here. So 1 into 1 is 1, and multiplying with p. Okay. So this is my answer. So if I want to represent in my, again, translational way, how I'm going to represent, my x coordinate will be now t1x plus t2x. I have written here, comma, t1x. This one will be 1y. Okay. This is a mistake over here. I'll just correct it now. So this one will be y. Okay. So just check it out. This one is y. Okay. So t1y plus t2y. Okay. So that you are going to write. Next, multiplied with your p. So next sentence here you can see. Now what we are going to do is, this is again the combination of transformations. So this is one more little difference. So here what I'm going to do is composite translations. Okay, so in composite translations I have two things, right? So what I'm going to do here, this is a mistake. Okay, please check it out. Just write it down to y. Okay, so this is a mistake. T1y. Okay, so please check it out that. So now here what are, this is a x coordinate, this is a y coordinate. So for x coordinate I have written 1x 2x, for y coordinate this has to be 1y. Okay, so now here what I'm going to do, the composite translation. If the composite translation has given in this way, whatever it has given, you are just going to add and write. For your composite, for your rotation also, you are going to add both the things. Suppose r theta 2 and multiplied with r theta 1, then you are going to add both the angles, so you will get rotation of theta 1 plus theta 2. So for your scaling also in the similar way, so here what I am going to write is, so here you can see 1x 2x then 1y 2y. So first one will be x coordinate, just multiply, next one will be y coordinate. So please do the correction over here, this is a little mistake here. So next we are going to see, now whatever we have seen, that was in a equational way. Now we are going to see the same thing like in a diagrammatical way. So here you can see I want to apply the rotation around a point 1. Okay, so here what I will do, I have to rotate the like over here you will be having one angle. Okay, so let's take that angle as theta. So now you are going to rotate on your point R. So you have to very careful where you are going to rotate. Okay, so you are going to rotate on R. So this is the first one, first point. So what happens here, translate such that R coincides with origin. So how, what I'm going to do, if I want to rotate this object, then first I have to coincide with my origin. So first this point I should bring over here. So how I will bring this point, directly I cannot bring, I have to apply the equation or formulas. So there is a transformation formula which is known as your translate. So first you are going to translate the object. So as you can see, I just translated my object here. Okay, so now which one is my R point, this is my R point. What is the next thing you are going to do, you have to rotate the angle theta around the origin. So here you should rotate it. So now this red color sign you can see, that is my rotational basis. Okay, so now if I rotate angle theta, then my object also will rotate. If my object rotates, my object will look like this, right? So next what you are going to do, once the rotation done, next you should rotate it on this point, right? So you are going to translate it back. So same object will translate back, which you can see here in the last diagram. So this is the procedure how you are going to translate your object from one place to another. Here I have applied two things. One is your translate. Here you can see, one I have applied as translate, and second I have applied as rotate. Again I have applied as translate. So here three things are there. Okay, transformation to two things, but as you are using again translate, that matrix also you should use. Okay, so now let's see the next slide. Here how we are going to do. So first what I have done, so this is a question actually. Okay, so first step what I have done, here you can see I have translated. How I will represent it, I have to write p dash, because I'm getting one more new point, right? If I'm translating, then I should get a new point. So I have written here p dash equal to, I'm just translating in which direction I'm translating. I'm not going to the upward, I'm going downward. So my x and y axis will be in a negative direction. So I'll write translate. Here you can give any point name, because here r has given. So I am writing here rx comma minus ry. Then with whom you are going to multiply, the initial point, that is your p. Okay, so first step I'm going to do this. What is my second step you saw here, that is the rotations. So here in the rotations, whatever the new point I will get, let's consider it as p double dash. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have to apply the rotation on this point, because already I have shifted over here. Right now this point name is your p dash. So on p dash I have to do the rotations, and whatever the new thing I will get, new matrix whatever I will get, that I will keep it as my p double dash. So now rotation of your angle with your this p dash value, you are getting the p double dash. Okay. Now third is what is the third point? You are going to translate it back. So what you are going to translate it back, now the object looks like this. So the same object you are taking to the upward direction, so it will be positive. So if it is positive, then you are going to apply the translation of this one, rx comma ry, on what point? What was your initial point? Your initial point is p double dash. So I'm just writing here p double dash, and whatever the matrix answer I will get, I'm just going to keep it as p triple dash. Okay, so this is the answer. So now the same thing we are going to represent, and we are going to find out the answer. How we are going to find out the answer? P dash, I have told you already, this is the formula. P double dash, how to find out? R of angle theta into P dash. What is the value of your P dash? I got it here. I will just replace on your P dash, and I have written here. Now next is what? P triple dash. So this part will be same. This p double dash is equals to r of theta p dash, I have written here. And again I got this p dash value as this much, so I have just written here. Okay, I'm not changing anything. Whatever I have told you, I have just represent everything. Now let's see. Now what happens is here, so here all the three things till equation 1 to 3, you got this equation, right? So I'm just going to write it in terms of my matrix. So now if this matrix is confusion for you people, you can do that. T rx comma ry, first you write down the translation matrix. How to write? 1 0 rx, 0 1 ry, 0 0 1. So first you write down that. Then one more matrix you write of your rotation. Then one more matrix you write for this. Okay, if you write and combine, you are going to get, this is the matrix combination of your matrix, multiply with your p. So you can, here you can add another two more step also, no issues. Okay, so this is the way of doing. If you are getting any combination of any of the object or anything, you have to think that what you are going to apply. The question will be just like this, that here one point is there, just rotate this point to here, just rotate this object here. You have to think what all are the things I should apply. Here I understood that I should go for your translation, again I should rotate it, then again I should translate it back, then I have designed this equation and all. So that things and all will not be given in your question. You have to find out what you are going to do. Okay, then you are going to apply all these formulas. Now let's see, I have one more also. Here one question is, scale with factors sx, and sx has to be with respect to your point f. Okay, what you are going to do? You don't know what to do, right? So here one object is there, where you are going to apply the scaling. Okay, so in this object you can make it large, you can make it small, right? So first translate this object to your origin. Now object has been translated, then apply your scaling in the origin. Now you can see it like this. Then again translate back your object to the original position. So here also you are going to apply same thing. First translate, okay, then scaling. This scaling, this spelling is like this because it is like a US accent. Next is like translate. So here also once again you are going to apply. Okay, so now these three things you have to apply. Similar procedure, we are going to just see this how to write. So in the next step we have to write the formulas, because here as the object is going back, so I will apply the inverse. Then I have to apply the scaling. I know how to apply the scaling, s of sx comma sy. Then in the triple dash, what you are going to do? You are going to translate it back. So you got this answer. Now you are going to replace it. So here also one more step is omitted. If you want, you just replace this p double dash with this value and p dash value with this. If you will put that values, you are going to get this value. Then you represent it in your matrix form. This is the answer, that's all. So here one more thing is there. Suppose if you want to scale in any other directions, how you are going to do? Suppose you have one line and you are going to do whatever till now we have seen, it was a object, it was a triangle. Now I have the line. How you are going to do this? So now the question is scale with factors s1 and s2 with respect to rotated frame. Okay, so how you're going to do? You're going to rotate it in such a way that your frame has to coincide with a standard xy frame, because you have this x coordinate, you have this y coordinate. I have two lines over here. Now if I want to rotate it in the same direction, in the same angle, I have to rotate. So now if I rotate in this way, how much angle I have used, this also has to rotate in this way in the with the same angle. So now what I will do is I'll just rotate it. So if I rotate, you can see my blue color line is on my black color line now. So now next again I have to find out and I have to set it. Okay, rotate it back again. So here what are the things I have done? First, what I have done is, here the question is I have to scale the factors s1 and s2. I have to scale down. So whatever is there, I have to make it small. Okay, so if I want to make it small directly, I cannot do. First I have to make it in a proper origin. Okay, that you have to remember. How I will do it? Here I don't need to translate also, because the point is on the uh, origin. So what I have to do is, here I have to just rotate it. So I have applied here rotation, which you can see here. So what I have done, I have just rotate it. After rotation I have to apply the scaling, because that is the question. So what I have done, I have scaled it. Okay, so here you can see I have scaled it. Now again what I have to do, I have to rotate it back. So I have rotated it back. So this is the answer which I understood to find out. Now what I will do, I have to write in the direction how I'm going to apply the equations. First was rotation, I have written the equation. Second was scaling, I have written. And here instead of sx and sy, the question has given s1 and s2, so I have applied here. Next is rotation again, but you are going in the opposite direction, that also you have to see, because here when I was moving I was going upward, so it was positive. Now when I'm moving I'm going downward, so it will be negative. Here the arrow mark you can see, so rotation it became negative. Then apply this p double dash value, you just replace it. Here p dash value, you just replace it with this and get your p triple dash. So that value you got here, and apply the equations. That's all. That is the answer of your this question. Okay, so now next we are going to see the order of transformations. Okay, how you are going to apply this order, and how you are going to do that also we will see it in the next class. But till now we'll just practice how we are going to do the, how we can apply the transformation things and all, and how we are going to do. So there will be a many variety combination of questions which will be given to you. So you have to analyze what all are the things you are going to apply and how you are going to set. It's not necessary that only within the 3 steps you can wind up your answer, that there can be 7 steps also. Okay, so depends on the question how you are going to do it. So I hope you people have understood the concept of this. So you can practice these things, and with many more examples, then in the exam if you are getting this kind of question, easily you can achieve it. Thank you.